This is a tutorial on how to access your IDEA survey information. This first link is different from the faculty link because this is the link that you'll post in the announcement section of D2L. It's really important to post the student link in that section of the course because it's highly visible and it's easy for the students to access it, which increases the likelihood that they'll actually take the survey. It's totally fine to also follow up with an email. The problem with only emailing this link to students is it's kind of based on the fact that many of them do not check their university email on a daily basis. And if they're not checking their emails regularly, it's really easy for them to receive multiple messages from the university in general. And then that means they have to kind of fish through all of those emails to get to your message and get to this link. So it's totally fine to follow up with an email and include the link in that email, but it is most important that the link is actually posted in the announcement section of D2L. The second link is the faculty link, and this link gives you access to all of your IDEA survey reports, and it gives you access to the open surveys so you can monitor the response rates. So this is currently the spring term, and in this section you'll see that I have an active survey. Active means the survey is actually open and the students are free to submit their feedback at any time. I also get information on when the survey closes, as well as information about when the results will be available to me. And these are reports that are generated every quarter. And so it's really important for us to look for these reports and review them and use that information to improve our teaching. The response rate, as I kind of mentioned earlier, again, we're doing things to kind of increase the likelihood that students will actually respond to the survey because we really want their feedback. It is valuable to us. And as you can see right now, none of my students have responded to the survey, and the hope is to increase that number. The goal is ultimately to get 100%, but that's not always possible, but we strive to get as high of a response rate as possible. In addition to posting the link to the survey in the announcement section of the course, another strategy for increasing the response rate is to actually carve out a few minutes of time at the end of the last day of class and have the students complete the survey right then. And this is really important because it's a captive audience. You have the captive audience of students, so you're kind of utilizing that as an opportunity to kind of have them do it versus asking them to complete the survey on their own time. And in some cases, many students will pull up the survey on their personal devices, their cell phones, their laptops. If students don't have access to a device, you can even have them use the computer lab on campus so they can use those computers to actually complete the surveys. And when we go to the change term section, as you can see, I have access to all of my IDEA reports all the way through the summer of 2014. So this is information you can always review at any point in time. And once the survey closes out, and as I mentioned earlier, they give you a date for when you can actually access the results, you will see a box that kind of says view the results. There is a lot of information in this IDEA report. However, we really try to focus on a couple of key areas so you're not overwhelmed. But again, I highly encourage you to really just explore the entire report and use as much of the information as possible. However, keep in mind, there are some key areas that we're paying, a lot of attention to, and kind of to direct you to those key areas, I'll just walk you through those sections. So down here where you see the tabs, the summative report or section is an important area because you're looking at your overall scores. The formative section right here looks at each each, kind of teaching method and kind of how you were rated in those areas. And this is really useful information for you because you can kind of see on a granular level how the student evaluated you in that area and how you compare to other kind of people who've taught a similar course. And this idea note down here is a nice kind of gives you, it's a nice way to kind of see kind of or learn more about this particular question and strategies for improving your teaching method in the classroom. As you can see, there's totally, like, for this area, there are a lot of pieces of information and feedback. So again, this is something that you can use and look at in each of these areas of the feedback section. And then finally, the qualitative section is another area of the report to pay attention to because, frankly, like sometimes the students, there may be something that is relevant to your course, but it wasn't asked in the survey questions. And so this is a chance for the students to kind of elaborate on those things or to bring them up. It also gives them a chance in their own words to kind of tell you how they feel about the course, their thoughts about it, strategies or ways you can improve it. So again, it's kind of the students, it's their voice about your course. So again, you want to pay attention to this. So just as kind of a recap, the summative section gives you your overall rating, and in particular, you want to pay attention to anything that is below a 4. And not that you still shouldn't strive to do better if you have a 4 or above, but it's just kind of an indicator that that's an area where you'd like to pay a little more attention or make that a priority. And in the formative section, you're looking at, again, each of these teaching areas, and this suggested action column lets you know, hey, is this a strength or is this an area that needs improvement? And then once you click on those areas, it gives you access to even more information, including the idea notes in the course. So, and then you have the qualitative section, and that area gives you feedback in the student's words. Hopefully, this tutorial will be really helpful in helping you navigate this report and learn more about ways that you can improve your teaching.